Welcome to this complete technical course on using Python and GPT-5 to quantify cognitive load in hybrid remote teams. This practitioner's guide focuses on real-time burnout detection, from raw Slack metadata to operational dashboards. The course is divided into 5 modules. We'll start by defining the invisible crisis, then move into building a Python data extraction engine, followed by GPT-5 linguistic analysis, a real-time dashboard, and concluding with the future of well-being. Module 01 focuses on the invisible crisis of hybrid work. We will explore why the most dangerous workplace problem in 2026 cannot be detected with current tools. The 2026 hybrid reality shows an average screen time of 11.2 hours, with 43% of employees feeling less productive despite more hours online. Burnout, in the form of total digital exhaustion or TDE, can set in within just 2 weeks, yet managers have 0% real-time visibility with current tools. TDE is acute cognitive depletion from high-velocity digital communication, invisible to volume-based monitoring. This is due to the asymmetric communication tax. In-office employees benefit from low-cost communication, like quick conversations and visual cues. Remote members experience a high communication cost, where issues require long digital threads, tone is often misread, and they lack restorative face-to-face time. All communication becomes a taxing digital experience. Existing HR pulse surveys fail for 3 reasons. 1. Temporal lag, where data is stale and intervention comes too late. 2. Social desirability bias, as at-risk employees are least likely to report burnout. 3. Survey fatigue sampling error, where aggregate wellness scores falsely improve as the most burned-out staff opt out. We introduce the Cognitive Load Index, or CLI, a real-time composite score from 0 to 100. It measures estimated cognitive burden using anonymized communication metadata and GPT-5 linguistic density analysis. A CLI above 75 triggers an automated human review alert. The formula weights are based on latency, frequency, hour distribution, and linguistic density, with the latter carrying the highest weight. The CLI is categorized into low, medium, and high alert thresholds, each with specific manager actions. Low scores require no immediate action. Medium scores suggest scheduling a one-to-one check-in within 5 business days. High scores require an immediate one-to-one check-in within 24 hours to discuss workload and energy, without referencing the CLI score itself. Our technical stack consists of 5 integrated layers. We start with data extraction using Python and APIs, followed by data processing with Pandas and NumPy. Next is AI analysis with the GPT-5 API. Then, storage handles CLI scores and alerts. Finally, visualization and alerts provide a live dashboard with heat maps and human review triggers. Module 02 is focused on the Python extraction engine. Here, we build a privacy-first metadata pipeline from platforms like Slack and Microsoft Teams. Our privacy-first design dictates what we collect versus what we never collect. We collect anonymized behavioral metadata like timestamps, channel IDs, and message character counts. Crucially, we never collect message content, direct message metadata, display names, email addresses, or keyboard activity, ensuring privacy. This is the phone bill analogy. The metadata reveals behavioral patterns, like urgency and busy periods, without exposing private conversation content. The core anonymization logic, shown here, hashes user IDs with a rotating salt, maintaining time series tracking without storing the real ID. The pre-processing pipeline involves 5 steps for data cleaning: schema validation, timestamp parsing, bot removal, outlier capping, and an activity filter. We use Python's Pandas for deterministic processing, as large language models can produce inconsistent numbers when aggregating large datasets. Feature engineering involves 4 key behavioral scores: the latency score, frequency score, hour distribution score, and message entropy score. All quantify different aspects of digital communication behavior, contributing to the overall CLI. Module 03 is dedicated to GPT-5 and linguistic density analysis. This module teaches you how to use large language models to score the cognitive quality of team communication. Why use GPT-5? A simple word count-based regex counter scores these 2 messages identically. However, GPT-5 recognizes the vast difference in cognitive state. Response A is a healthy, low-load signal. Response B, though the same word count, is a stress signal, indicating deflection and low actionability. GPT-5 scores linguistic quality across 5 dimensions, each ranging from 1 to 10. Low scores contribute highly to the cognitive load index. These dimensions are specificity, coherence, actionability, compression, and tonal stability, each corresponding to a cognitive breakdown like boundary collapse or decision avoidance. Our prompt design is critical. We instruct the model to act as a cognitive load analysis system, focusing solely on the linguistic quality and cognitive state, not sentiment. We enforce a specific JSON output structure and use a low temperature setting for deterministic, consistent scoring. We train GPT-5 to distinguish between deep work communication and chaotic distraction. The deep work example is highly specific and actionable, resulting in low CLI. The chaotic distraction example lacks specificity and actionability, yielding a high CLI. Vague instruction falls in the medium CLI range. The final CLI score aggregates all features using predefined weights, shown in the _CLI_calculator.py script. For our example user, the linguistic density score carries the highest weight, culminating in a total CLI of 75.7, triggering a high alert. A critical reminder: A. I cannot feel employee stress. GPT-5 scores are probabilistic correlates of cognitive load, not clinical measurements. For example, a high CLI could signal flow state, not overwhelm, or a family crisis, not work overload. AI provides the data. The leader provides the care. Module 04 covers building the real-time dashboard. We will dive into creating heat maps, alert systems, and the orchestrator that ties the entire data pipeline together. The dashboard uses Plotly Dash and SQL Alchemy to visualize 6 key components. These include a KPI strip, CLI distribution histogram, team trend line, hourly heat map, per user trend, and a human review alert panel. The cognitive load heat map visualizes communication load by hour and day. High CLI scores in the late evening, colored red, consistently signal a systemic organizational problem, like an after-hours culture, rather than individual burnout. The alert system is a prompt for human conversation, signaling an early intervention point before burnout peaks. Crucially, the alert is not a diagnosis and should never be used for performance reviews or disciplinary action. The orchestrator runs the pipeline in 6 sequential steps: extract metadata, pre-process the data, engineer behavioral features, score linguistic density with GPT-5, calculate the final CLI score, and trigger the alert system. We are running a demo mode pipeline here, where a Python function simulates the data generation. Module 05 looks at the future of data-driven well-being, exploring the ethics, surveillance boundaries, and the irreducibly human element in this data. To maintain a clear surveillance boundary, a deployment must pass 5 dimensions. We must ensure transparency, allow employee access to their scores, limit the purpose to supportive actions only, obtain clear consent with opt-out capability, and restrict the scope to minimal necessary metadata. To ensure compliance, our pre-deployment checklist includes automated checks for data minimization, anonymization quality, and data retention. Crucially, purpose limitation requires a manual human review to confirm company policy prohibits using CLI scores for performance-related decisions. Finally, real-time CLI data can shift structural reforms like the 4-day workweek from ideological arguments to data-driven optimizations. Global trials show significant reductions in burnout and turnover while maintaining productivity, proving structural change can be measured and managed. For managers, we recommend a 6-step ethical deployment plan. Start by running the demo to ensure transparency. Next, obtain legal and HR review and explicit consent. Begin by reviewing aggregate scores before individual data. Then, write purpose limitations to prevent misuse of data in performance decisions. Continue by acting on structural patterns. Use the data to change systemic issues, like an after-hours culture. Finally, plan an annual review and maintain a sunset option. If trust erodes, be prepared to pause the system, remembering that the ultimate goal is employee well-being, not the tool itself. AI excels at rapid, precise scoring of data, like linguistic density and latency deviation. However, I cannot replace the irreducibly human element. Only humans can recognize that a CLI spike is due to a family crisis, understand cultural communication styles, or rebuild trust when an employee feels surveilled. The evidence mandate states that the tools to detect cognitive overload before clinical burnout now exist. The barrier is ethical and human, not technical. Use data to see what intuition misses, build privacy into the architecture, and let the AI surface the signal while the human provides the care. We close with some discussion questions to consider. Why might a drop in Slack volume signal burnout? And what is the difference between a high CLI and a false positive? How can we explain the CLI system to a skeptical employee?